What's up, everyone? This is Jonathan Lyman. This is How I Feel, episode 2. I went ahead and I had to drop this episode right now. I was going to wait, excuse the background there. I was going to wait on this episode, but after that event, I had to go ahead and just do it now, man. What an event. What a first event for the UFC and this new deal that they have with ESPN. It was exactly, the presentation of this event was exactly the way that I wished Fox would have done the ESPN presentation. Because one of the things that I always disliked about Fox was that Fox has this idea that they need to make all their sports feel the same. So like if you watch the NFL, watch MLB, anything else that they have on that platform, they all have the same music, it's basically the same graphics, it all has that same feel. And I think when it comes to the UFC, mixed martial arts in general, it needs to have its own feel to it. It needs to have the UFC pay-per-view feel to it. And this actually had that feel to me, and I thought it made a big difference. That's one thing I feel like they greatly improved on. Also like the fact that they went old school, like back in the day when they had Eddie Bravo come in every now and then and say something about the grappling part of the jiu-jitsu part of the fights. When they brought in Trevor Whitman, who was the coach of the champion Rose Namajunas, they brought him in between rounds to say, okay, the coach's corner was correct by saying this and that. I thought that was a great touch as well. I thought they did a very great job of just broadcast. Everything was good. Bisbing, Rashad Evans, Karen Bryant, KB, they've been doing it for years. That was a good touch. Also like the fact that Ariel Helwani is getting so much run now on ESPN. His talent is really coming out, and he's a talented guy, the best in the business. Well, that was my talk on that. Now let me get to these picks, because my first episode I did these picks and I did pretty good. Honestly, I got every pick right except for one, and I was going back and forth with that one. But when it comes to my picks, I started off tonight. I said Joanne Calderwood was going to beat Ariane Lipinski, and that's exactly what she did by unanimous decision. She dominated this girl, and that's something I knew what would happen. I am such a big fan of JoJo that I think she should get the next title shot. Not sure she will, but I think she will. I think her resume over the past 3 fights is a little bit better than Jessica Ai's resume, who would be the next person in line for that fight. And then we're gonna go to Cowboy Cerrone, who did his thing in the second round. He defeated Alexander Hernandez. Exactly how I thought that fight would go. Exactly how it went. Not gonna spend too much time on it. You got Cowboy, who has the most wins in the history of the UFC. I feel like that's a stat that doesn't get talked about enough. He impressed a lot of people tonight. Even impressed Conor McGregor. And it looks like the next fight for those two guys going to be against each other. So good for Cowboy. That's going to be a good payday for him. Then we go to the main card here. Glover Teixeira. He beat Carl Roberson, submitted him in the first round. This was when that old guard, new guard type of fights. I knew it was a great chance that Glover was going to get his victory, and he did. I was happy for him. He still got a little bit of gas left in his tank. PVZ, Paige Van Zandt, she got the victory, submission, on bar against Rachel O. I picked PVZ to win this fight, and it was a fight that PVZ needed to win, because I'm not sold on Rachel. And I knew if Paige wanted to take herself serious and get back in there, this is a fight she had. It was a must-win fight. Because if she were to lose this fight, I don't know where Paige would have went from that defeat. So it was an impressive victory by Paige. Hopefully, new division. I think she's won the division now. She can really get back on track and see where she's going to go and what is her natural weight class. Joseph Benavidez defeated Dustin Ortiz. Good back and forth fight, really good. Benavidez gets the victory, and now he should be the number one contender for the fight. They should do that rematch with him and Cejudo. That should be a good match. I mean, Cejudo lost that fight, and that should be the fight that they make next. And Joey B has been in that division for a long time from the beginning. He deserves the title fight. Gregor Gillespie. It's the one fight I know I should have picked him. I didn't. I went with Yancey. I don't know why I did, but I did. I went with Yancey. He didn't. He disappointed me. Gillespie completely dominated him, and yeah, he completely dominated him. Great dominating victory for Gregor. That was my one loss of my picks that I had. Actually, two. This main event, the co-main event, was I wanted to pick Crowder, but the reason why I didn't, because I didn't think he was very good in the fight against Greg Hardy. And Greg Hardy showed he's a fighter. That's the best way to put it. He made a bad mistake, and it cost him the fight. He got disqualified. He was dead tired after the fight. It cost him the fight. Hopefully he will learn from this and be better in his next fight. That's pretty much all I got to say about that. In the main event, Cejudo beat TJ Dillashaw. I'm so happy about that. I picked that. Didn't go the way I thought it would. He just went ahead and just dominated him. Came out. Some people thought it was an early stoppage. I can see where you could say it was an early stoppage, but in my opinion, if you let that fight go on any longer, he would have defeated him. Okay, he defeated him 30-some seconds. He just would have defeated him with 2-3 more minutes. It would have been over anyway. So I don't have a problem with the stoppage. And that was the first UFC on Fox. See, you got to 7 years ago, used to saying that this was the first UFC on ESPN. And I am very excited for the future of the sport on this platform. Hopefully we don't see too much Stephen A. That was a little bit too much, but the production quality was great. I really enjoyed it. I know some people like, it's on ESPN. ESPN not going to treat it special like Fox did. Well, apparently Fox didn't treat it too much special because nobody was watching at the end. It was not very good. The ratings were horrible. Like I said previously, I had my issues with the Fox presentation. I love ESPN presentation of it, and hopefully it continues in the future. I'm very excited about how this is going to work out. So much that I had to make this video now. I'm going to make it tomorrow. Had to go ahead and make it now. But this is it. Hope y'all have a great morning, evening, whenever you look at this. And this is how I feel about the UFC on ESPN Plus 1.